Have you ever felt a hollow ache deep within you? A quiet sense of being disconnected, unmoored from something vital you can't quite name. It feels like a stream whose connection to its source has been severed, its flow becoming sluggish and unclear. A profound teaching tells us this feeling is not an error in your design, but a symptom of a forgotten memory. A memory held not in your mind, but in your very blood and tears. The memory of your true origin. What you are about to discover will not simply inform you, it is an invitation to remember. An ancient wisdom tells of a key, a physical bridge back to the source, hidden in the most humble of substances. I invite you to journey with me into the heart of this mystery, to rediscover a path that unites the physical and the spiritual, hidden in a simple crystal that sits in your home. This is a journey to the very core of what you are. If this exploration calls to you, I invite you to walk this path with us. A simple like is a sign that our energies are in resonance, and by subscribing and turning on notifications, you ensure that our paths will continue to cross as we journey deeper. Long ago, a wisdom keeper entered a state of deep listening, and a voice spoke through him, a voice from the source. It revealed that what we call salt is not a mere mineral. It is, he explained, a crystallized memory of the first intention, a physical substance that holds the vibrational pattern of creation itself, like a single, frozen note of the universe's first song. But there is a deeper layer to this teaching. Within that same stream of wisdom, it was revealed that every grain holds what we might call microscopic echoes of awareness, tiny crystalline patterns that resonate with the same flow as consciousness itself. When this crystal dissolves in water, especially water blessed by clear intention, the frozen song is released. It creates a measurable bridge between the world we see and the river of spirit that flows beneath it all. This teaching was once given to a woman whose own inner river, her lifeblood, had grown cloudy and still. The doctors had no answers. She was guided to dissolve these seeds of the ancient ocean in pure water, and with each sip to breathe into it a single, sacred intention of harmony. In the turning of a few moons, the water in her own body remembered its true, clear nature. Her flow was restored. Her doctors saw a miracle. The wisdom keeper saw a simple act of remembrance. Ancient scriptures speak of great souls who were called the salt of the world. This was not praise. It was a description of their spiritual function. They were living anchors for a higher consciousness, helping to ground divine energy onto this earthly plane. In the tradition I follow, we are taught that salt is the physical anchor that allows the spirit, the great ship of your awareness, to remain tethered to the shore of this human life. Its crystalline structure, this perfect, sacred geometry, is a mirror of the patterns found in the great library of all souls, the cosmic memory of all that is, was, and ever will be. When you mindfully connect with salt, you are not merely consuming a mineral. You are attuning your anchor. You are allowing the memory of your own soul's infinite journey to resonate within your cells, reminding you of your purpose in this season of your existence. This changes the very nature of prayer, of healing, of being. The archives of this wisdom are filled with stories. One speaks of a seeker from the heartlands who followed a practice of salt meditation. After 3 moons, he began to see visions, not just of one life, but of the many riverbeds his soul had carved through the landscape of time. He did not receive a list of names and places, but something far greater, an understanding of the currents that shaped his present relationships, his deepest callings. The fog of his confusion lifted, but let us go deeper still to a teaching that may stir you. My tradition speaks of wisdom centers of salt within the body. These are not just biological functions, they are sacred wells where salt concentrates to maintain the pathways of spiritual communication. They are antennae for the quiet voice of the universe. Your tears are the most potent of these. The salt in tears that flow from a heart full of gratitude or deep prayer is a liquid prayer itself. This is why a moment of pure emotional release can bring such clarity and healing. The very fluid that cradles your brain, your center of consciousness, is a sacred inner ocean held in a precise saline balance essential for clear communication between your soul and your mind. When this inner ocean becomes imbalanced, through what we put into our bodies or a disconnection from our spiritual path, a kind of soul static arises. This is that feeling of being lost, numb, spiritually adrift that so many feel today. There is a story that my own teachers were awed by. A man's spirit had become unmoored from his body after a great physical shock. His body was a ship with no captain, adrift in a silent sea. The family, having exhausted all other paths, sought the wisdom of the tradition. The teaching given was not to treat the body, but to create a spiritual magnet to call the soul home. They were instructed to prepare baths with salt from a specific, ancient seabed, blessed with sacred intentions and timed with the rhythms of the moon. The family, though doubtful, followed the path laid before them. On the 7th day of this ritual, the man opened his eyes. He spoke. The captain had returned to his vessel. This was more than a healing of the flesh. It was a demonstration that this humble crystal serves as a bridge between the worlds of form and formlessness. The salt did not mend his brain. It restored the connection between his soul and its physical home. This understanding offers a profound path for anyone feeling the fog of depression, the storm of anxiety, or the emptiness of being spiritually lost. The salt your body creates is not inert. It is alive with your intention. The salt produced through prayer, meditation, and a heart open to joy carries a different resonance than salt born of sorrow. You are the alchemist of your own inner landscape. The new ways of knowing, with their fine instruments, are just beginning to glimpse a truth the old ways have always held. They are finding that crystals can hold memory, can store vast information. The ancient scrolls, the traditions of the mountain people, the ceremonies of the original inhabitants of this land, they all speak of salt's sacred power. This points to a river of truth flowing beneath the surface of history. There is a teaching about a woman who carried the shadow of a great war within her. The memory of trauma was a constant, dark smoke in her soul. She was guided to a practice of purification. She dissolved blessed salt in water, bathing in it and drinking it, while holding a prayer for cleansing in her heart. She was using a tool of earth and water to purify the energetic debris left by fire and air. In time, the smoke cleared, her nightmares ceased, the constant anxiety quieted. The practice did not erase the memory, but it washed away its power to cast a shadow on her soul, restoring her to her own inner light. So how can we, in our modern lives, walk this ancient path? The way is simple, but its power is profound. Begin with a practice of intention. Take a small amount of sea salt or the rose-colored salt of the ancient mountains into your palm. Close your eyes. Feel its crystalline structure. Now, breathe. Allow the pure intention from your heart, for clarity, for healing, for connection, to flow through your hands into the salt. Feel gratitude for this gift of the earth. This charged salt can now be a sacred element in your food, in your bath, a quiet anchor carried in your pocket. One man of commerce, whose life was a whirlwind of frantic doing, began this practice. He charged salt each morning in his quiet sitting. Within months, his intuition sharpened. His decisions flowed from a place of quiet knowing, not anxious thought. He felt, as he said, a constant awareness of a gentle guidance in his day. There is an even deeper practice for those ready to listen. In my tradition, it is called scrying the soul, a way to receive insight by watching the crystals return to water. Dissolve your blessed salt in a bowl of pure spring water. As you do, hold a clear question in your heart. What is my soul's deepest calling? What is the next step on my path? As the crystal lattices dissolve, releasing their stored memory and intention, enter a state of quiet observation. Gaze into the water. What images, feelings, or knowings arise in the stillness? This practice creates a vibrational bridge, allowing your conscious mind to access the quiet library of your soul. A teacher who followed this path for many months received clear guidance that led her away from a life that was comfortable but small and onto a path that she described as living my soul's true song for the first time. This connects to a profound teaching from the ancient texts. A story tells of a woman who, in looking back toward a city of chaos, was transformed into a pillar of salt. In our tradition, this is seen not as a punishment, but as the illustration of a sacred law. Her consciousness became so attached to the lower vibrations of the past that she literally crystallized. It shows the choice every soul faces: remain fixed in attachment or become a conscious, purifying agent for the divine flow. So, what does this mean for your path? Your relationship with salt becomes a mirror for your relationship with purification and spiritual will. When you bless it, you participate in a lineage of awakening that stretches back through time. Listen to the salt. Different types sing different songs. Sea salt connects you to the tides of emotion and intuition. Himalayan salt grounds you in the deep, slow wisdom of the earth. Listen to what your soul needs today. A nurse who began blessing the saline used in her work found that not only did her own spiritual sensitivity blossom, but her patients seemed to respond with more ease and peace. The most profound teaching is this: the balance of salt within your own body temple directly impacts your ability to receive clear guidance. When your physical form is in proper harmony, mineralized with consciously intended salt, your very cells become more receptive to the downloads of wisdom and purpose from the source. Your nervous system is a finely tuned instrument, and salt is what allows the music to be played clearly. The new knowing of science confirms this. Speaking of neural conductivity, we simply call it keeping the pathways clear. A meditation guide who began sharing these practices with her students saw remarkable changes. Their inner journeys deepened, their insights became clearer, and some experienced profound awakenings that realigned their entire lives. The path forward begins today with a simple, conscious act. Bless the salt you use. See it not as a chemical, but as a key. Perhaps create a weekly ritual, a sacred bath of salt and intention, to cleanse not only the toxins of the body, but the static of the soul, creating a quiet space for your inner guidance to be heard. And when a question arises from deep within, try listening to the water. The thousands of stories from this tradition are not fables. They are a testament to a living wisdom. Consistency is a current that carves stone. Begin where you are, with what feels true. A simple daily blessing is enough. The journey must feel authentic to your own soul's calling. Perhaps keep a journal, a record of the subtle shifts and insights that will surely arise. You are not just trying a new technique. You are reconnecting with an ancient lineage of wisdom. You are remembering your own divine nature. The salt in your blood, the salt in your tears, the salt in the great ocean, it is all one memory. By working with it consciously, you are accessing that cosmic memory and allowing it to guide you home. Your journey is yours alone, but the river of truth flows for all who seek it. The salt within you is the memory of the ocean from which all life came. You are never separate from the source. I invite you, if you feel so moved, to share the story of your own journey in the space below. Your reflections can become a light for others who are walking a similar path. If this teaching has nourished you, please pass this water to another soul who may be thirsty. Our exploration will continue, and if you wish to join our circle and walk this path of remembrance with us, we welcome you. May you always feel the strength of the mountains and the flow of the ocean that reside within you. May your path be peaceful and clear.